They say money talks, but the truth is, the richest people I've ever met rarely say a word about it. They don't brag. They don't argue. They don't rush to tell the world about their next big move. They stay quiet because they know something most people don't. Money grows in silence, not in noise. Look around today. Everyone's talking about money. They post their trades. They debate on Reddit. They follow financial influencers who scream, "Buy this, sell that." But have you noticed? The loudest people in investing are almost never the wealthiest, because real wealth doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need to. It simply compounds quietly while the noisy ones fight for attention. Let me tell you something powerful. The moment you start talking too much about your money, you start losing control of it. 1. Silence protects you from emotional noise. Investing isn't just about numbers, it's about emotion. Fear, greed, ego. They destroy more portfolios than bad stocks ever will. And when you talk about your money, you invite those emotions in. You compare, you compete, you feel pressure to prove yourself, and that pressure leads to dumb decisions. You buy when others are buying because you don't want to miss out. You sell when others panic because you don't want to look stupid. That's not investing, that's reacting. But silence gives you distance. It gives you clarity. When you're quiet, you can actually hear what your intuition is saying, not the crowd. 2. Silence gives you time, and time creates wealth. The market is a machine built to reward patience. It transfers money from the impatient to the patient, and the silent ones, they're the most patient of all. They don't refresh charts every 5 minutes. They don't chase headlines. They play the long game. They understand that wealth doesn't come from noise or speed. It comes from time and discipline. Warren Buffett once said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." But if you think about it, patience and silence are twins, because you can't be patient if you can't be quiet. 3. The loudest people often sell noise, not knowledge. Most people online aren't rich because of their investing skill. They're rich because they sell attention. Their real business isn't stocks, it's you. They make money when you click, when you panic, when you argue. And so they feed you more noise, more drama, more hype, because noise keeps you addicted. But quiet investors, they don't sell courses. They don't need followers. They let their portfolio compound in peace. They know that money loves silence the way plants love sunlight. Slowly, steadily, invisibly. 4. Silence makes you unpredictable. When everyone knows your next move, they can manipulate you. They can influence your emotions, your timing, even your confidence. That's why real investors don't announce what they're buying or selling. They move quietly, like shadows in the market. Because power in any form is multiplied by mystery, and mystery dies the moment you open your mouth. So don't tell people your next stock pick. Don't brag about your profits. Don't justify your losses. Move in silence. Let your actions, not your words, speak for you. 5. The psychology of quiet wealth. Have you ever noticed that rich people often live below their means? They drive normal cars, they wear simple clothes, they stay out of the spotlight. That's not an accident, it's strategy. Because wealth that's shown off is fragile. Wealth that's hidden is powerful. Silence is the armor that protects your peace and your plan. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your success or your goals. You don't need to announce every investment you make. You just need to keep building quietly until one day, the results speak louder than any post could. 6. The noise trap. Here's how most people lose money without even realizing it. They get caught in the noise cycle. They scroll financial TikTok. They hear this stock will 10 times. They feel FOMO. They buy. Then they see a scary headline. They panic. They sell. Then they repeat. Louder, faster, poorer. The market doesn't punish ignorance as much as it punishes impulsiveness. And impulsiveness lives in noise. Silence is what breaks that cycle. When you stop reacting to every opinion, you start developing your own. You stop chasing trends and start building conviction. Conviction is the foundation of every great investor, and conviction is born in silence. 7. Case study, the quiet investor. Let me tell you about two investors. Both started with $10,000. Investor A talks to everyone about his trades. He checks the market daily. He buys and sells based on headlines. In 10 years, his portfolio is up maybe 30%. Investor B says nothing. He buys strong companies. He ignores the noise. He reinvests his dividends. In 10 years, his portfolio quietly compounds to $40,000, maybe $50,000. No drama, no stress, just silence and growth. Now multiply that by decades. That's the difference between noise and wealth. 8. Silence builds mental strength. The best investors aren't just financially smart, they're emotionally stable. They can handle uncertainty. They can hold when others are selling. They can wait when others want excitement. Silence trains that muscle, because being quiet in a loud world is hard. It requires self-control. It requires confidence. It requires trusting your own judgment when everyone else doubts you. But that's what separates professionals from amateurs. Amateurs seek validation. Professionals seek results, and results grow in silence. 9. Silence in a noisy world. The modern world rewards noise. If you're not posting, you're invisible. If you're not shouting, you're ignored. But investing doesn't care about visibility. It cares about value. And value takes time to reveal itself. Every day, thousands of people lose money because they couldn't stay quiet. They followed hype. They reacted to headlines. They wanted to feel something instead of building something. The silent investor, he feels nothing and builds everything. Because silence isn't the absence of action, it's the control of reaction. 10. How to practice silence in investing. So how can you become that kind of investor? First, stop sharing your moves. You don't need to prove anything. Silence removes pressure. Second, limit your noise intake. Unfollow accounts that make you emotional about money. Information is good. Stimulation is dangerous. Third, focus on long-term thinking. When you zoom out, short-term noise fades away, and what remains is clarity. Fourth, journal instead of talking. Write your thoughts down instead of saying them. It keeps your strategy internal, where it belongs. And finally, be comfortable being misunderstood. The quiet investor often looks boring until they're not, until years later when everyone wonders how they got rich so quietly. 11. The spiritual side of silence. Silence isn't just a tactic, it's a mindset. It's the ability to be still while the world screams for attention. It's the ability to trust the process, not the noise. It's what turns chaos into clarity. The Stoics said, "The more you say, the less you control." That applies perfectly to investing, because the less you speak, the more you listen. And the more you listen, the more you understand. Understanding builds confidence. Confidence builds patience, and patience builds wealth. 12. Let silence speak for you. There's a quiet confidence in not needing to explain your plan, because when your results show up, they'll speak louder than any words ever could. Imagine 5 years from now. While others are still talking about the next big thing, you're just living it, because you built it quietly when no one was watching. That's the power of silence in investing. It's not passive, it's not weakness. It's the highest form of control. The ability to move with purpose while the world moves in panic. 13. Final words. So next time someone asks what you're investing in, just smile. Say, "I'm still learning." And keep your silence sacred, because in the end, wealth doesn't need attention. It just needs time and peace. Money doesn't respond to how loud you talk about it. It responds to how calm you are when others lose their minds. So talk less, observe more, invest quietly, and let your silence make the noise for you.